Hello Malaysia, hello world. Apa khabar? Welcome back to another ECM Talk program with topic for today, are we all Merdeka at heart? I'm Rajesh Shahrul, your host. To many, Merdeka Day has become just another public holiday or a day to party. Well, at least before the pandemic, that is. For some of us, the Merdeka month is a fitting time to raise patriotism and a sense of loyalty and pride for the country, especially among the younger generation. Although often enough, we let that opportunity slip through our hands. These days and age, we tweet about Merdeka, we blog about it, we change our avatars to celebrate it. We take part in the usual flag-waving gesture. But does Merdeka mean anything to us? What does it represent to Malaysian? Does it hold the same meaning to us as it does to our parents or grandparents? Let us hear more from my guest today, Yang Mulia Tunku Muinuddin Putra, grandson to our Bapa Kemerdekaan, Yang Teramat Mulia Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Al-Haj, the first Prime Minister of Malaysia. Welcome to ECM Talk, Tengku. Apa khabar?
Alhamdulillah, thank you, Rajesh Shahrul. By the way, we are related, so please call me Muin and I'm going to call you Shahrul or Rul. No, we go back way too long for formalities, brother.
I know. You don't have to go into details if you don't mind.
Yes, Shahrul,
okay,
Muin. Brother.
Yes, if I start with the first question to you, Muin. To you, what is the true meaning of Merdeka to Malaysians?
Well, as we've been brought up to appreciate, because family choices and all that, we've been brought up all along to appreciate how Malaya or Malaysia now got its independence, and it's something very special, especially to the family.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more? How do you mean by special, Muin?
Well, our grandfather is the founder of the country, and he was the one who got he fought, well, he wouldn't say fight for independence, but he got Merdekaan for Malaya in 1957. At the time, it was Malaya.
Yeah.
And there were no bloodshed, nothing. It was through negotiation, and it's a purely diplomatic way of getting independence from the British.
All right. Right. Okay, Muin. Perhaps you can share with us some memories of the different Merdeka celebrations that you had gone through before and now.
Okay, when I was a child, I remember those days. Merdeka celebration has always been in KL and at Stadium Merdeka.
Right.
So all the parades and all the march past and all that. It's always been at Merdeka Stadium. This is way back, yes. 50 years ago, even more than 50 years ago.
Yes.
And we used to follow our grandfather to celebrate with him. But then, of course, those days we were children, so what do we know about what Merdeka means at the time? And just there out to enjoy ourselves, have a great time, and run around in the whole stadium.
Yes, I'm not
so
surprised.
Those are my fond memories. But later on, when we grew up and got older, learned to really appreciate what Merdeka is, then yes, even if we're not there, not there, because after post grandfather's time, we never really got to be, on the VIP area stage or anything like that. So kind of got a bit hot and humid to to go and celebrate Merdeka with the country, with the people and all that. So we just then to celebrate along by watching TV and then just enjoying the show. I mean, it just became a show to us.
Okay.
And now I think gone past the age of celebrating in that sense, birthday of Malaysia, or birthday national day now. Birthday Malaysia is actually Hari Malaysia, which is 2 weeks past, more than 2 weeks past Merdeka Day.
Right.
But Malaysia Day was never around until even in this century, in this millennium even. I think it was during last time that that Malaysia Day got declared to be a significant day or a day that we Malaysians celebrate, which is actually a good thing. Even Merdeka Day is just to celebrate our independence and all that. But Malaysia Day is more significant because it involves East Malaysia, Sabah Sarawak as well.
Yeah.
So now that's even more special.
Okay, Moin. When you talk about Merdeka celebration, the 31st August, are you saying that? I mean, perhaps you can tell us the difference when it was then and now. What would be the most distinct difference between then and now?
Well, then when I was a child, now I'm no more a child. Way too old to be even remember what happened when I was a child.
Okay.
But I think the meaning, like I said earlier, the meaning of Merdeka when I was a child was very vague, and it's just a celebration. It was just a school holiday, and we go out running around and all that. So to us, it's just not a celebration. But now it means a hell of a lot more. I'm sorry, it means a lot more. I know you told me not to, terlepas.
Yes.
But it does mean a lot more as an adult.
Okay.
But it also means a lot more responsibility for the nation and for the people.
Right. Perhaps during that time, what your grandfather went through to get the independence for Malaysia now. Do you think it was something that he got it with a breeze, or it was a very difficult challenge for him? From information that you gather from your parents or from your uncles and aunties who were together with him then?
I know it was hard work. Although there were no bloodshed involved, it was hard work because even without even involving the British at the time, just outside Malaya at the time, was the British would only recognize our independence if we can prove that we can manage our own country based on the multicultural, multi-racial, multi-religion, at that time it was multi-everything, and the British they were not prepared to give it because they didn't think we would survive as a country with so many differences. Our own people. And but that I think was the biggest achievement for our own independence, to gain the trust and the confidence of the British to be our own independent nation.
Right.
And then it was not just about defense. It wasn't just about politics, it wasn't about rule, it wasn't about regulations, about legislation, nothing. It was all about our own people. You know, how we Malayans can survive being a one race with different, with all the different ethnic and cultural backgrounds.
Right. Yeah.
Many of whom are not even born in Malaya at the time.
Right. Right.
We were all very united and very strong with our own beliefs that we can be a nation.
Right.
So I think that was the biggest challenge. The rest, once we got through all that, oh yeah, and of course, winning over the sultans.
Right.
That was also an achievement. And I think at that time, I'm quite confident to say that only my grandfather would be able to pull it through.
Right.
Because of who he was and his relationship with all the other sultans.
Right.
So they were actually they actually trusted him to be able to pull it off.
Right.
It's no easy thing for the sultans to give up absolute monarchy within their own states to give power back to the people. That is one, it's a huge achievement.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that's what they managed to pull it off. And once all that, in fact, I believe when they went to do the independent talk in Britain, they took a boat. They took a ship that took about 3 months to get there or something, and in the ship, it's not a cruise, it's a ship, passenger liner. There were a lot of discussions, and but at that time there were no distractions. It was just them, the delegation to win independence. So it was very, very important. That trip was actually very, very important because a lot of things were ironed out.
Right. Right.
In that, I don't know, 2-3 months, whatever the duration of that journey.
Right. Right. Now, Moin, the thought of Merdeka and its appreciation then and where we are now, how would you differentiate that?
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, how during our parents' time, our grandparents' time, I suppose the appreciation of Merdeka is closer to their heart than we are now. What do you think of that, Moin?
Well, when we gained independence, I wasn't even born yet. No, neither were you.
Yeah.
So we're not that old. But our parents were adults already.
Yes.
So it means a lot. I mean, they probably knew. What Merdeka was at the time even before we did. I think it's a different type of appreciation at that time.
Right.
About what Merdeka means.
Right.
Than it is for us, because they will recognize, they will know the struggles. To us, it was just handed over to our play. When we were born, we were already independent, and life was just, never any different now than from what it was before Merdeka. I mean, they went through the Japanese, the Second World War. I mean, they lived through the Japanese invasion.
Yes.
They lived through British occupation, colonization. So
right.
For us, we will never recognize that. We will never, I'm not saying we'll recognize it, but we will never appreciate it as much as they did because they experienced it, we didn't. To us, we were born, we were independent, we had our, our own people, our own government, our own everything. But to them, they struggled. They struggled, especially during the Japanese occupation. I think they struggled a lot.
Right, right.
That was during wartime.
Right.
So being independent from such a situation, to being independent, to being born already independent, I think there's a lot of difference. But I'm afraid I won't be able to explain how they must have felt. I'm just guessing, actually.
Yeah.
Compared to what we would feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Not many. There are not many people alive now that was pre-independent. Well, that would know what independence before, what it was like to live before kemerdekaan. Not many left.
Okay.
Our parents, yes, but they've already aged. They can't remember anything now.
Yes.
I was senior, maybe slightly elder. Yes, they were around before Merdeka, but it was not during the times of the Japanese invasion and all that.
Now, being colonized meant suffering as a result of greed or others. We may be merdeka now, but are we really free from injustice and inequality, Muin? What are your thoughts on this?
Why do you want to tell me like this?
I'm
not going to answer. I'm not going to give you my frank opinion.
I'd like to throw this.
Trouble on me.
I just like to throw this kind of question to you, you know. But I just want your honest and true goodness answer.
Well, to begin with, I think the only times that colonization that we really suffered was during the Japanese times.
Okay.
But I think during the British time wasn't really suffer that.
Right.
But now, yeah, there's injustice and what was the other word? You asked me the injustice and what was the other word?
Inequality.
Inequality. Okay. But I don't know. I mean, what does injustice? Okay, what injustice means is persecution and suppression, whatever. I seriously don't think many of us now, as an independent country, independent nation, is suffering from persecution. A lot of people may think differently. I'm just giving my frank opinion, as you want.
Please.
We're not really suffering from injustice unless, we feel suppressed politically. But I don't think there are very many people who would feel that. Maybe that's suppression, not injustice. Injustice, maybe they feel that they're losing out on the privileges, but hey, to me, that's actually to stabilize.
Yeah.
That's a stabilizing situation. I mean, you don't want, say, for example, earlier in the millennium when they had a lot of problems in Indonesia with racial fights and all, because the Malays, or the dominant, the majority of the population felt suppressed because of economic inequality.
Okay.
They seem to be the have-nots, and they were suffering.
All right.
It's one thing they don't eat, they can't eat, they go hungry. It's one thing.
Yeah.
But to have your children to go hungry, that's what drives you suicidal, actually.
Right.
There was a huge, a lot of protests and pretty much anarchy at the time. So I think the policies that's being passed or introduced or even practiced is actually there to save our own country, our own people.
Right.
It's not about privileges for the Malays, Bumi Putras, and the non-Malays. It's not about that. I think there to create an equilibrium. You do not want to have a situation where the majority or the dominant population feel unfairly treated, or because then there will be a huge social problems, I think.
Right.
So
But of course, now Muin, with all the policies being implemented, there is a more proper check and balance, I suppose. Yes.
Yes, that's how it's supposed to work. But whether it's true to practice, I can't say. I'm not involved in the policy making or anything like that, so I can't really say.
Yeah.
But it does appear that way. Yeah. It does appear that it's a form of check and balance. Yes.
Right. Okay. Is there anything else, Muin? Perhaps you want to share with us with this topic? Is there anything else?
Well, we've been through, especially with this COVID situation.
Yes.
We've gone through a horrible time for everyone.
Yes.
But things are looking up.
Yeah.
The economy is beginning to open.
Yeah.
And the infection rate and death rate is slowly coming down.
Yeah.
So I hope this vaccination that we are all getting, hopefully that works. And I hope there are a lot of anti-vaxxers out there, I know.
Yeah.
I hope they do think about getting themselves immunized.
Yeah.
Don't think about even getting other people immunized, just getting themselves immunized first.
Right.
Then realize how you being immunized will help others to get immunity as well.
Right.
So you don't first of all, you don't get infected yourself.
Yeah.
And secondly, you don't want to infect others.
Yeah.
That is the COVID situation, and I think going through this hard time, we've got to be a bit more forgiving to our government, especially.
Yeah.
Because none of us has been, no one in the world has been through this before.
Yeah.
The previous time was during the First World War. Who's still alive to be able to share that experience?
Yeah.
So we have to be a bit more forgiving, a bit more patient. Give the government a chance to do their work.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not trying; they're trying very hard for you, for us.
Yeah.
So give them a break, I think.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be political, please. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be political. I'm just trying to be a Malaysian, to try and get that message across to other Malaysians.
Right.
And let's be happy. Don't be so angry about nothing.
Yes.
Be more happy. That will help everyone.
Yeah. It's like being happy, like party, and party, isn't it, Moin?
Well, that's your happiness. I don't know. I'm happy just going out there to play my golf and being able to walk around, to travel around, to go to shops, to eat, to all that. That make me happy.
Very good. Anyway, thank you so much, Tunku Moin, for your thoughts and views on this topic. And we hope to hear from you again soon on some other topics.
Inshallah.
Yeah? Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you, Moin.
I hope I wasn't too much trouble to you.
No problem. We are very grateful that you could come on board and join us for this program.
No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you. See you again, Moin. Thank you. All right.
Inshallah, see you again.
All right.
Thanks, bro.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Tunku Muinuddin, for your thoughts and views on this topic today. One of the greatest treasures of our independence era was the late Tunku's legacy of humor that he used to great effect in gaining independence from the British, drawing the different races and groups together in building a newly independent nation. The process of the nation building in the early years of independence was no easy matter. Once again, thank you very much, Tunku Muinuddin Putra, for participating as our guest for this program. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Edu Channel Malaysia. Happy 64th Merdeka Day to all Malaysian citizens, and last but not least, we love you, Malaysia. Take care and stay safe everyone. Jumpa lagi. Bye.